I had to do this video because, and shout out to Kyle Kalinske, Secular Talk, for a lot of these. I don't get these on my own. But MSNBC or MSDNC does occasional good videos, like once a year, twice a year maybe. And so they reached out to a Trump voter. And essentially, this Trump voter, he's a huge fan and proponent of the Build Back Better agenda. Not because, oh, I love Joe Biden, but it's because of the popular provisions in it. So look at this. I'm going to play this video, and it's going to show you an incredible thing, right? So look at this. It's a Trump voter, and he supports the Build Back Better agenda. I wonder why. Here, let's see.
The cost of living is so high here in West Virginia now that you can't afford to buy anything. And you know, his support for this would help a lot of people that are struggling right now because of COVID.
So Gary, what is the senator not hearing from his conservative constituents like you?
I think it's all, you know, just what he wants to hear from other people that's putting money in his pockets, and not the people that actually work for West Virginia that are struggling out here. But there's a lot of people that are struggling that need this right now.
Gary, I just want to remind people you are a self-described conservative. Can you tell me who you voted for in the last election?
Yeah, I voted for Donald Trump.
Okay.
And I support him in every issue possible.
Okay.
All right, so right away, I love this guy, not because of his Republican values, but just because it's simple. This bill contained so much that people loved. Elder care, expanding Medicare to hearing, dental, and vision. They only expanded it to hearing. Lowering the age from 65 to 60. Hillary was better. She went to 50. I think 55 or 50. Expanded the child tax credit by like a year. It had universal pre-K, which has morphed into just absolutely nothingness. And it had a bunch of provisions in there that really would help people, and would help people of West Virginia. So this guy is a voter in West Virginia, right? And you need to understand that the voter in West Virginia is very, very, very conservative. Absolutely socially conservative. You know, no abortions, no gay marriage, no marijuana, although I bet you half of them getting high. About half of them think about Joe Manchin. Joe Manchin. Joe Manchin's no match, right? So, anyway. Oh, boy. So, they're very, very, very socially conservative, but economically liberal. So you want to know why those $1,400 checks were popular in West Virginia? It's not because, you know, it's just West Virginia, but people in West Virginia are very poor, and they need that money. So while these people might not support abortion, gay marriage, and marijuana, they do support things like unions and a $15 minimum wage and expanding Medicare and, adding universal pre-K and free community college for 2 years. I mean, just it goes on. And the child tax credit, which, by the way, cut poverty in half temporarily for now. So right away, you can tell why this is insanely popular. And it's not only Joe Manchin, but it's all these guys who just don't give a F about you. Honestly, they don't. What they want is the money in their pockets, and he absolutely gets to that, which he's saying, look, Joe Manchin doesn't care about us. Joe Manchin only cares about whoever's put money in his pockets, and he's grandstanding for his donors. He's doing everything he can for his donors. He's taken money from 50 billionaires in the last decade or whatever it is. I mean, and he's breaking records in terms of donors and donations taken throughout the pandemic, but also fighting Build Back Better. So, I mean, he's absolutely right. And the most simple thing you can say here is it's incredible how a Trump voter, a guy who loves Donald Trump, is saying, yeah, this is actually going to help my friends, my neighbors, my family. cost of living is so high and the inflation's going up and all this is happening and going on. We need this. We need this. This would help us tremendously. And yet, like I said, Joe Manchin doesn't support it. But I don't even think Joe Biden supports his own agenda, because he could have done the rallies. He could have done the bully pulpit and the billboards in West Virginia. Like I said, I think I mentioned billboards where you put corrupt Joe Biden, yes, but corrupt Joe Manchin and all this and that, and price gouging Manchin's daughter, whatever. And do the I'll prosecute you, the carrot and stick approach. They didn't do any of that. And so all these people who, they support this agenda, guess what? Well, they're voting against their own interests by voting for Joe Manchin, who doesn't represent them. As this guy clearly said, he represents his donors. So, they are voting against their own interests. They are absolutely, hurting themselves. But what else can you expect? And, when the midterms come and the Democrats lose, it's gonna be because you didn't support the agenda that was so popular that it was so popular that more than 90% of the policies were popular in West Virginia, and Republicans are gonna trounce on the Democrats.